So I've got a demo model here of the FS5, which is the camera Sony just released at IBC. Fits into their lineup somewhere between the A7S and the FS7. Lots of cool things in this camera. It's very small, lots of options like 4K internal, some nice high speed. But this video is just going to be a sort of overview of what comes in the box, how everything's assembled. So here's a quick overview of everything that's in the box. You've obviously got your camera, you've got your LCD, lens, batteries, grip, top handle, charger, etc, etc. Obviously, the first thing is the camera body. It's crazy lightweight. When you pick it up, it really is surprising. It feels like a sort of mock-up of a camera, but in reality, it actually has all the electronics in it. So, well done, Sony, in terms of that. It obviously, will get heavier as you put everything on it, but you know, for sort of applications like gimbal work and Steadicam, things like that, this is kind of amazing because you can just stick a lens on it and go if you're feeding it to an external monitor. And you know, the smaller gimbals will take that, no problem. As you can see, it's got an E-mount, which is very good. It's, you know, E-mount and Micro Four Thirds are very good for the simple fact that you can adapt them to almost anything. I use on the Sony A7S, I've got a Metabones adapter like I think pretty much everyone does, so I can use Canon lenses. That does work on here, but you could adapt that to, like I say, pretty much anything. As you can see, it's got a viewfinder built in on the back, which is sort of more traditionally a video camera viewfinder. Just pivots up and down. Comes with a sort of optional eye cup if you like this sort of things, but it's actually very comfortable just to look in like that. The body's got a rear hatch which opens and takes 2 SD cards. Top one will take a memory stick, I think, as well. I think lots of people just have SD cards lying around now. It's good. I like the fact that I can use the same media between this and the A7 or whatever other camera. It's got a standard Sony battery slot which takes the standard Sony batteries, which lots of you will have already. I got 3 for the purpose of this review, but I pretty much just lived all day on the one battery. I switched over to one of the backup ones, and this was not even halfway done, and I was shooting for about 8 hours on that day. Shot everything on one card. The body does have an XLR input on the body, which is great if you're trying to keep it as trimmed down as possible. You've got, on the rear, you've got an SDI out, you've got an HDMI out, you've also got a control Ethernet port there, if any of you are going to be using that kind of thing. You've got ND filters. It's one of the great things about this camera. You've got ND filters built in, 3 different stops of ND on the filter wheel for quick use. But the great thing is you can also control that any degree in between those stops with this little knob here. Anyone that's used Sony cameras before will be quite familiar with the way this works. This is the same as, you know, back I had a Z1 many years ago, and a lot of this is exactly the same as it was on that camera. So, you know, there's nothing really new to learn in terms of the controls there. It's obviously got a very important button for this camera, I think, for a lot of people, is going to be this slow and quick motion button. So if you want to do anything off speed, you just quickly tap it once for your standard slow motion stuff. If you want to do super slow motion, which is, you know, upwards of 100 frames a second up to, this does, you know, crazy hundreds and hundreds of frames a second, but that'll be in a sort of buffer mode, which you know, we can go into another video. So that's the body. The first thing I think we're going to do is put on the side handle. So this side handle is very comfortable. It feels very natural in your hand. Very easy to use when it's on the body. The way to attach this is via this little port here. You can just pull this little cap off. Now, to get it on, you have to line up, there's a little white dot on the grip itself and a white dot here, exactly the same way you line up lenses. So you just align the two, pop that in, and then you pivot it back until it clicks. Now, to move that into a more usable position, you just use this handle button and it will swivel around to anywhere you want it. You have to take this little sort of LANC cable and just drop that into the little, I don't know if you can see that there, there's just a little remote jack there. You just pop that in and then that's ready to go. That'll control your camera, and it really is very secure, you know, no problems there, no rattling or anything, and it's so easy to just change the orientation of the camera on there. So that's your first way of controlling that. Second, we're going to pop on the top handle. So very easy. The top handle is pretty standard as well. If you know, it's the same as pretty much any video camera. You've got another XLR input there with your phantom power controls and everything, and little clips. You can put a top mic on there, whatever you like. There's a hot shoe, and obviously a standard built-in top mic, just for scratch sound. It's got a couple of quarter 20 threads on there. You could mount any of your accessories you wanted to mount. But what we're probably going to use is just the forward one there. So to apply this to your camera, you basically have to take the little data connection point there, and on top of the camera, just slots in, and these screws are on sort of catch springs, so you just push them in and then swivel. Very easy. Your top handle's mounted. So there you've got two ways of holding your camera now, two grips. If you really want to be secure, you can do it like that. You know, it's standard video camera stuff, but it's well implemented. So, and still very lightweight. So the next thing we'll do is the LCD. So this LCD is, you know, in a way very familiar if you've used the FS7. It's obviously a bit smaller, I think. It's got a slightly different method of mounting, but in a way it's quite, I don't know if I'd say it's better, but it's very good, very easy to use. And that's obviously you know, this sort of proprietary Sony jack. So this is a quarter 20 thread, so you can mount that anywhere. You could probably mount it on any, you know, I'm sure there'll be cages for this and things like that. But for now, we're just going to mount it on the side here. Again, it just goes in, very quick, couple of twists, and it's mounted. So once that's on there, you're going to want to take the cable, fold it through, probably clip it under here at least once, keep it in place. And then there's a small jack just here, just behind the main handle, which, take this in, this will line up with the slot. And that will just go in, oh, other way around. Just goes in, and you'll hear a little click as it goes in. And it's secure, it's not coming out anywhere. And if you then want to line that up with another one of these little cable holders on the top, you can do that. So, there we go. As soon as we pop one of these standard little Sony batteries in, it's very standard Sony battery. Just take it, line up the pins, drop it in the back, and that slots in and you're ready to go. So there's your camera, minus lens of course, but still remarkably lightweight. I mean, for what it's capable of doing, that's, you know, I ran around all day pretty much just handheld like this. You know, you can use the handle for low shots if you like, but this is so easy to just pivot and use like this and still have access to all of your controls. It's really good. For the sake of this, obviously I've got the Sony lens, and I actually found myself liking the Sony lens because of the built-in stabilization and the control and everything you can do from the camera. So that obviously slots, same as any lens would attach to anything. You just line up the white dots and you're good to go. And then we've got a fully ready to shoot camera. You can run out, shoot whatever you like with that. This handle is so easy to just move, so comfortable. Any sort of position you would find yourself shooting in, super easy to use. The LCD can pivot pretty much depending on how you've secured your cables. Obviously I've secured them quite tightly here, but the only issue I've got with this LCD is that there's no way to sort of stow it, if you know what I mean. There's no, you know, this sort of harks back to, like I say, the Z1 and any of those sort of older Sony cameras where you used to be able to just fold this down and have it safe. But here, obviously, it's touching the hot shoe. I would like to see a way to to secure that, even if it's just a little sleeve that goes over the camera or something, over the screen or something like that. I'm sure people are going to come out with viewfinders for this, you know, so it's a bit easier to use out in the bright light, because this is a bit awkward for some shooting. Some people like it, but overall a fantastic little camera. You know, if you're thinking about getting one of these, you know, get in contact with Sony, or you know, just buy from any of the people that are selling it. I'm sure there'll be pre-orders going up now. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope that was useful. Just give you an idea of what you get, you know, how the camera operates, how it all goes together. And yeah, see you next time.